Hi friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that might be new here, hi, welcome. My name is Megan and today we have a what sold video. And this is actually going to be what sold for June 2nd through yesterday because it's only 6:30 in the morning right now and I don't have any sales to share with you from today. So June 2nd through yesterday, which was June 15th. And as per usual, I will do my best to get this filmed, edited, and posted just as quickly as I can. So this will be my most current sales that I have to be sharing with you. This week, I do have sales to share with you from Poshmark, eBay, Depop, and Mercari. Yes, I did make a single Mercari sale. I'll take it. It was a good sale too, so I'm very happy with it. I just wish I understood how to make sales over there. Anyway, if you are new here, I'll pop a photo right here on the screen of the item we're chatting about in case one, I didn't put it in a haul, or two, maybe you missed it. I will also be reading to you my full SEO title so you can get a feel of the keywords and phrases that I use to help sell each item. I do cross-post all of my items to all of my platforms, which are Poshmark, eBay, Depop, and Mercari, and I use NIFTY to do that. If you are new to NIFTY, there is a 15% off discount code in the description of this video for 15% off your first month, and I highly recommend it. I will also be sharing with you what each item sold for, what I will earn after fees and cost of goods, so after each individual platform's fees and my cost of goods, how long each item was listed before it sold, so how many days the item was listed for on all of my platforms, and whether or not I would pick this item up again while sourcing, as well as the absolute most I'd be willing to spend on it if it wasn't a bins find. So if I came across these items not at the bins at a regular thrift store, what's the most I would be willing to spend on them? And the first platform we're going to speak about is Depop. Let me scoot over just a tiny bit so I have enough room to pop everything on the screen for you. Okay, I think that's enough room. Fix my hair, stop touching my hair. Okay, first Depop sale, No Boundaries Y2K Leopard Faux Fur Platform Slide Sandals, McBling, size 8. These sold for $40. I will make $37. They took 3 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? 1000% I would pick these up again. These were style-based pickup and I would pay up to $8 for them. I do think though these were a $2 or $3 regular thrift store find. I can't remember if it was $2 or $3, but they were very cheap. And as soon as I saw them on the shelf, I was like, oh yes, ma'am, you're coming home with me, because that is something I very much so would have loved in the 90s, like Y2K era, these No Boundaries, leopard print or cheetah print, whatever. I'm not sure which one it is. Cheetah? Maybe it is cheetah. Platform slides, and they sold very quickly, and I'm not surprised in the slightest that they sold on Depop. I will say though, I received 3 questions about these sandals in the 3 days they were listed. They were all the same question. It was 3 separate people, 1 person on Poshmark and 2 people on Depop asking for the measurement of the insole. So I added that information to the description after I got the second question at being the same question. I added that to description, and this person made me an offer and purchased them within 3 days. So that's really fast turnaround, especially for a style-based pickup. I believe No Boundaries is Walmart, right? No Boundaries is a like Walmart house brand, right? I think so. Anyway, next Depop sale, Victoria's Secret, very sexy little fit. I don't think that's right. I think you're supposed to say sexy little thing, not very sexy little things, but that's okay. Victoria's Secret, very sexy little things, Y2K, pink lace, baby doll, cami, coquette, size small. This sold for $25. I will make $22. It took 36 days to sell. Would I pick it up again? Yes, I would, but I am only picking up these things, these type of things, these Y2K baby doll, specifically Victoria's Secret pieces at the bins. I just feel like it can kind of get into that muddy water of you find a lot of these things, you buy them all up, and then all of a sudden the trend is gone and you're stuck with all of these things that you maybe paid anywhere between $5 to $10 for, and you're only flipping them for $25 to $22. So I am picking these up at the bins all day long, specifically baby doll style and specifically Y2K Victoria's Secret. And Victoria's Secret is really nice. It's like J. Crew and Madewell, they put the date on there on most of their stuff. If you look like under the care tag, it will say the month and the year. And if you find a Y2K piece, I would definitely, especially at the bins, I would definitely suggest picking it up because they weigh next to nothing. So this was a great little flip. Took about a month to sell, but $22 is a great return, especially because I probably paid a quarter for that at the bins. Okay, next Depop sale, Big Bud Press Western Pants, Rust Red Flare, made in USA, size small. They sold for $45. I will make $41. They took 14 days to sell. Would I buy these again? Yes, I would. And I would pay up to $8 at the regular thrift store. However, I might be willing to spend more on different styles, colors, sizes, etc. This particular style didn't seem like it was one of their like beloved major high resale styles, so I wouldn't pay more than $8 for this particular style again, but I would definitely suggest looking up this brand if you come across it, Big Bud Press. And I will say, Depop, especially this last week, has been very good for me. I've received a ton of offers, but those offers have been paid for. Like, I've accepted all of the offers, and I would say 75% of them, people are actually turning around quite quickly as well and paying for them. So we love that. Depop is definitely like taking up for me, and I'm very excited about that. Next Depop sale, Land's End linen wide leg crop pants, high rise green resort wear, lag and looks 1X. These sold for $28. I will make $25. They took 7 days to sell. Would I buy these again? Absolutely, but only at the bins. These were a bins find, and I'm pretty surprised they sold on Depop, to be honest. I assumed when I saw them that they would probably be a great eBay piece, and like I said, it just very much so surprised me they sold on Depop. The fabric and the style are what made me pick these up. The brand didn't really have too much of a swing for me. Land's End is like an okay brand. I'd much rather pick up LL Bean over Land's End though. It's kind of like in that family of like Eddie Bauer, Land's End, LL Bean, and then right above that is like Pendleton. So I'm very surprised these sold, but I'm very happy, and I would absolutely pick these up again at the bins. I think obviously the fabric had something to do with it, but the fact that they were wide leg crop pants, I really think also pushed them over that edge and helped them to sell so quickly. Next, Depop sale. Oh, these are interesting. Levi's 501 vintage USA made straight leg jeans, 28.36, indie sleeves, denim, 80s. These sold for $24. I will make $22. They took 16 days to sell. Would I buy these again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins in this condition, because if you will recall, I shared these with you in a bins haul. These had a giant, probably like 4-inch tear right at the zipper, the main zipper in the front. So like kind of like going down the leg a little bit, touching the zipper. It had a really sizable tear to the denim, and 2 of the back belt loops, on the back of the jeans, they were like only attached by one of the ends. They had like been ripped off. Were still attached, but there was a hole in the jeans. And these still sold in just over 2 weeks for $24. So the power of vintage Levi's, specifically 501, specifically made in USA, they carry a lot of weight, and I wouldn't pick them up in any condition. Like if they had like some nasty stains, I would probably leave them, but rips and tears and signs of wear other than that, like natural wear to the denim, absolutely. Absolutely, I will pick them up all day long at the bins. I would not pay up for those though at the regular store. There's no way. But at the bins, I'm happy to help them find a new life. And I definitely think the person that bought them or adjacent is going to fix them up and either sell them for more money as like repaired vintage denim jeans or Levi's jeans, or fix them up and wear them and have a cool pair of like lived in story to tell Levi's. I have a pair of, they're not quite this old, they are 90s silver tab baggies, and they had some holes in them just like that, and I took a red bandana and sewed it on the inside and like kind of made like visible patches like with my stitching on the outside, and I added a Como des Garçons little heart patch to the back pocket, and I always get compliments on those jeans when I wear them, and I'm like, oh, thanks, I made them. Sort of. I embellished them. Anyway, okay. Enough story time. Next Depop sale. Madewell novelty yoke A-line stretch denim mini skirt, dark wash, size 26. Sold for $24. I will make $22. This sold the same day it was listed. Would I buy this again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins. Madewell is just one of those really iffy brands now where some styles you find might sell for a great return on your investment, and other styles, they just don't hold that weight that Madewell used to. Like I said before, I used to pick up like any and every pair of Madewell jeans, and that time has long gone. Anyway, I would buy these again. This skirt again, but only at the bins. Next sale, Y3 Adidas logo knit beanie, black hat, Yoshi Yamamoto, one size. I think that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if I butchered it. This sold for $35. I'll make $33. It took 16 days to sell. Would I buy this again? Absolutely, I would. This brand has a very loyal streetwear following. This is a collab between Y3 and Adidas. So that's two separate brands collabing to make this beanie. I pay up to $8 for this at the regular thrift store, but this was at the very bottom of a bin. So I did find this at the bins, and I'm very surprised it didn't take that long to sell, especially because we are in the heat of summer. Tomorrow we're supposed to break records with the heat here, and I'm not looking forward to that. Oh, anyway, next Depop sale. I think I have more Depop sales to share with you than any other platform this week, so that's very exciting. Vintage Highlander movie promo sword graphic tee in black, extra large, 1996. This sold for $47. I will make $43. It took 31 days to sell. Would I buy this again? Yes, I would. And I would pay around $8-ish at the regular store for this. However, I am trying to steer away a little bit from any and every vintage t-shirt I come across. I feel like there was definitely a time, especially before the thrift kids became so prevalent at the bins and there were plenty of vintage t-shirts to be found, I would pick up basically any and all vintage t-shirts, and I'm really trying to be a lot more selective. Obviously band t-shirts, obviously things like this, like movie promos, special kind of like one-off things I will obviously pick up, but I'm not going to pick up like just any old single stitched t-shirt because it's old or anything like that anymore. If I didn't say, I would probably pay up to $8-ish for this at the regular store. Next, Depop sale. Levi's 565 wide leg jeans, vintage 90s Y2K, skater baggy denim, 29.28, made in USA, sold for $66. I will make $63. It took 8 days to sell. Would I buy these again? Yes, I would. Honestly, I have never seen this style. The wide leg baggy. The baggy wide leg. So they're 565. I would absolutely pick these up again, and I'd be willing to pay up to $15 for them at the regular store. These took 1 day over a week to sell, so it was a very quick in and out flip in my closet, and we love that. Next sale. Still more, I still have Depop sales. Next Depop sale, cherry print halter mini dress, pinup, rockabilly, Y2K, retro, size large, sold for $29. I will make $26. This took 25 days to sell. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins. This had no brand and very well could have been like a fast fashion adjacent piece. I purchased it for the style because halter-ish rockabilly pinup styles are always very popular, but also cherry print is very popular. Fruit print, any fruit print adjacent pieces I'm looking into or giving a second thought right now because fruit print is very trendy at the moment. Next, 7 for All Mankind Dojo Crop Capri Jeans Y2K Light Wash size 28. These sold for $24. I'll make $22. They took 1 day to sell. Would I buy these again? Yes, I would. I was testing the waters with these, to be honest with you, to see if I could manage to sell a pair of cropped dojos because historically, I have not been able to sell them very well. In the past, only the full-length dojos sell well, and at that, they sell better if they are unhemmed or unaltered. These sold in 24 hours. 1 day, and I'm not surprised at all they sold on Depop. However, I wouldn't pay more than like $6-ish for them at the regular thrift store, and I would be very mindful to keep my finger on the trend of capris and cropped pants and not buy them anymore when that trend is like fizzling out, because I think that's the only reason these sold so quickly is because they are trending. Cropped and capri and like high waters are kind of trending right now. So very interesting though to see that they sold in 1 day. Okay, last Depop sale. Frank and Eileen Wicklow cotton chino pants in oat minimalist clean girl size 6 sold for $40. I'll make $37. They sold the same day they were listed. Would I buy these again? Absolutely. And I would pay up to $10 depending on the style of pant. This was particularly the Wicklow pant. So depending on the style and the condition of them, these were in excellent condition, especially for being like such a light color. They were in really great shape. I would absolutely pick them up again, and if I didn't say, I'd be willing to spend up to $10. Okie doke. Now we're going to move into eBay, and the first eBay sale I have to share, Spiegel vintage double-breasted 90s supermodel denim coat, oversized, size medium, sold for $89. I'll make $74. It took 94 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins because this was a bins find. I wasn't confident on this style. I thought it was cool. It wasn't like in bad shape or anything. And I was hoping someone else would see the value in it, but I just wasn't like confident on it. I would say $74 on my bins return investment is a great flip. And 3 months isn't a very long time either. But I still wouldn't pick this up at the regular store. I would only pick it up at the bins just because it is kind of a more niche clientele, niche market. Next eBay sale, Lululemon smooth fit pull-on high-rise pants, navy, minimalist, 10. They sold for $67. I'll make $54. $54, not $45, $54. And they took 10 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would. I would pick up this style again, and I would check on the exact comps for the size, because we all know sizes definitely carry some weight, especially with certain brands, and I would say Lululemon is one of them. I would pay up to $10 for these at the regular thrift store. They sold very quickly for being a pair of Lululemon pants, and I would say $54 on my investment is a great return. Next, eBay sale, Prada suede buckle strap sandals, ankle wrap gold, cream, minimalist, size 41. These sold for $225. I'll make $202, and they took 63 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? I absolutely would, and I would be willing to pay up to... It's hard because I wouldn't just put a blanket price on like all Prada things. I definitely wouldn't pick up any and all Prada and spend, you know, a sizable amount on them. But for a pair of sandals comparable to this, I would pay $20-ish at the regular store. And I think these were $4 at the regular store. A very great find and flip. Next eBay sale, Stio Sweetwater, not Streetwater, Sweetwater fleece, full zip hooded jacket, heather blue gray, gorp core, size medium. So for $63, I will make 52. This took 117 days to sell. Would I pick it up again? Yes, I would. And I pay up to $8-ish right now. I might push that a little higher to like 12 or something in fall, winter time when I know I can turn around and list it at the peak season. But for selling in the summer, this sweater selling in the summertime, and I'm still getting a over $50 return, I will definitely take it. Next, eBay sale. 7 for All Mankind Dojo Flare Jeans, dark wash, size 32. They sold for $60. I will make $52. They took 23 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would, and I'd be willing to pay $10 to $15 for them at the regular thrift store just because they are such a consistent style that sells so well. They have a large following of people. People love how they fit. They love how they look. And 70s flare style is definitely having a resurgence of popularity again. So I would definitely be willing to pay up for these, especially right now. I would say I've always consistently been able to sell dojos, but just like with everything, when skinny jeans were in, these didn't sell quite as well as skinny jeans would. But 7 for All Mankind dojos are just one of those staple brands and styles that hopefully, fingers crossed, continue to sell well for eternity. Next eBay sale, Wilfred Windmill pleated skirt, black minimalist academia workwear, size 6, sold for $68. I will make $59. This took 177 days to sell. Would I pick it up again? Yes, I would. I would say, even though it did take quite a long time to sell, $59, almost $60 return on my investment is a great price. So yes, I would pick it up again. I feel like this is also a piece that meets a lot of different markets. It's the Aritzia girlies. It's the workwear girlies. It's the academia girlies. It's the fall girlies. All of those things. Minimalist, all of those, like capsule wardrobe. So yes, I would definitely pick this up again. And if I didn't say, I'd be willing to spend up to $8-ish at the regular thrift store for it. Next eBay sale, Tory Burch Simone merino wool cardigan, gold logo button sweater, size medium. This sold for $45. I'll make $38, and this sold the same day it was listed. So I'm so glad I didn't wait until fall, winter time to list this, even though it was a merino wool cardigan. It was so lightweight though, so I think that's also what helped it to sell right now. Perhaps this style might be sought after as well, and for all I know, she doesn't make this style anymore. I know this is like kind of skews Y2K, these giant logo Tory Burch buttons. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would, and I would spend around $8 on it at the regular, 8 to 10 at the regular thrift store, depending on the condition. If it was in like really great shape, I would spend closer to 10. Next sale, Spell and the Gypsy Collective Cha-Cha Blouse, Cottage Core, Button Up, Fairy Core, size extra small, sold for $89. I will make $78. This took 2 days to sell. Would I pick it up again? Absolutely, and I'd be willing to spend up to $15 for this particular blouse. Spell and the Gypsy Collective is another one that you have to, or you don't have to, I guess, but it would behoove you to look up and try to find the exact item that you found, because some pieces are worth way more than other pieces. Some pieces are like bolo pieces. Some pieces are like blogger favorites or, that type of thing. And they go for a lot more than another piece would, even if it was, certain blouses might go for way more than this blouse did. But I did find this exact blouse and price it comparable to the other Cha-Cha blouses from this brand. It took 2 days to sell, if I didn't say. And if I didn't say this already, I would be willing to spend up to $15 for this top. I think I did say that already, and that's why I went into, I have to look up all of the items in particular that you found. But anyway, next sale, J. McLaughlin Durham ruffle collar white top, Catalina cloth, new with tags, tennis core, prep, size large. This sold for $84. I will make $75. This took 28 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would, and I'd be willing to spend up to $10 for a new with tags J. McLaughlin piece in the Catalina cloth. One of you guys actually let me know in the comments when I hauled this top that the fabric that it was made out of was something that people search for, and be sure to add that to your listing. Thank you so much, because I'm sure that definitely helped to sell this piece for a higher value because I added that Catalina cloth in the title. So thank you, thank you. If I didn't say, I'd pay up to $10 for this blouse. Okay, and now we're going to move into the Poshmark. The first Poshmark sale I have to share, Prairie Underground Pink Runched Zip Hoodie Cottage Core, Fairy Core, size small. This sold for $40. I will make $30. It took 4 days. I think it was 44 days. It took 44 days to sell. Would I pick it up again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins. And Prairie Underground used to be a brand that I would get very excited about because it was kind of like the best way I can describe it is like a Lagan look, goth, whimsy goth, like somewhere in between there. And it used to do very well for me. Anytime I would find any piece of Prairie Underground, no matter the condition, like not like torn to shreds, but like stained with flaws, small holes, things like that, it would sell pretty quickly for a good bit of money. And I would say 40 is on the low end for what I've sold Prairie Underground for. So I think I'm shifting into picking this brand up only at the bins moving forward, unless it's like new with tags, some crazy looking something. I think it's a bins brand. Next sale, Faraday Stretch Terry Patch Pocket Flare Pants Charcoal Minimalist size 29, sold for $45. I will make $34. They took 11 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would, and I'd be willing to spend up to $6 for them at the regular thrift store. Then I sold this Abercrombie & Fitch pleated strapless mini dress martini greens, new with tags, size extra small petite. It sold for $68. I will make $50. It took 212 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would, but I would only pick it up at the bins because of how long this took to sell. How long it was in my inventory. However, I'm very glad to see it off to a new home. Next Poshmark sale, Everlane Utility Barrel Jeans Pure Blue High-Rise Crop Denim size 27 regular, sold for $49. I will make $38. These took 8 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would, and I'd be willing to spend $8 to $10 for them at the regular thrift store. I wouldn't say, though, to pick up every single pair of Everlane jeans. I think it's because these were the utility barrel and in this gorgeous like indigo dark wash blue color that they sold so quickly and for such a great return. I do think Everlane jeans cost over $100 retail though, so it's not like they're cheap by any means, but I have noticed that other styles of Everlane jeans just don't perform for me, so perhaps it's worth looking into the barrel if you come across it. Next, I sold this vintage 1960s buttercream pale yellow lace pearl embellished high neck wedding gown. It sold for $75. I will make $58. It took 125 days to sell. Would I pick it up again? Yes, I would, but I would only pick it up at the bins. I feel like most of the wedding gowns I am willing to pick up come from the bins, and I think partially that's because a lot of wedding gowns get really priced up at the thrift store. So I don't see myself paying any real sum of money for a wedding gown, because most times I'm taking a chance on that. Unless it was like Honey Sacks or something like that, then I would obviously pay up a pretty penny for it. But most of the wedding gowns I find, I would say 98% of them come from the bins. So yes, I would pick this up again, but only at the bins. Next, Poshmark sale, Pink Chicken Girls Floral Smocked Dress, Red Blue Boho Prairie, size 4 years. 4 years, right? Yeah, 4 years. This sold for $39. I will make $30. It took 42 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would. And I'd be willing to spend up to $8 at the regular thrift store for this. Pink Chicken seems to be a very pricey little girls brand, or I'm not sure if they make little boy stuff too, but little kids brand. And apparently it has a great following. It took just over a month to sell. And I think that was my full asking price as well, $39. So yes, I would definitely pick up this brand again. Next, Poshmark sale, Nanette Lepore Vintage Gingham Bow Trim Hook and Eye Jacket, Pink Lining Coquette, size 2. Sold for 96. I will make 75. This took 164 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would, but I would only pick it up at the bins because this was absolutely a style-based pickup. I know that Nanette Lepore is a good brand. However, I would say it's a brand that does not hold its retail value. So this was not picked up at all based on the brand, but only for the style. And I think the style is 1000% what sold this jacket. Next, I sold this pair of Kaimis Ranch Chloe bootcut flare dark wash jeans, size 432. These sold for 75. I will make 55, and these took 3 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would, and I'd be willing to spend up to $20 at a regular thrift store for a pair in excellent condition because they just sell so quickly. And if you will recall, this particular pair cost me $12 at the regular thrift store. They were marked at $17.99, but I had a $5 off coupon. So with girl math, the coupon comes off of the most expensive item, obviously, being these. So I still made $55 on my $17 investment in these jeans, and they took 3 days to sell. Next and last Poshmark sale. This is so fun. Arthur Court 1979 cast aluminum large fish platter tray with cerulean eye. This sold for 75. I will make 58. It took 327 days to sell. Would I buy it again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins. This was a bins find, so I'm very glad to see him go off to a new home finally. I think just like some hard goods things like this are so fun, like so fun. And if we lived in like a beach town or a nautical place, or we had like a nautical themed house, that would have absolutely stayed with us. It was so cool looking at, very fun for like, I don't know, like party tray or something like that. Or even maybe like a big like center dish on your island or something to like catch all your junk. Okay, that was the last Poshmark sale. We do have one Mercari sale like I promised. And the sale I have to share with you from Mercari, Send Greens, Bridget, black leather clogs, Swedish minimalist, size 40. They sold for 96. I almost said 69. 96. And I will make 80. These took 63 days to sell. Would I buy these again? Absolutely. And I'd be willing to spend up to $15 for them at the regular thrift store. I'm slightly surprised these sold for so much out of season, like not in fall or approaching fall winter time, but they are a great brand and an ever-growing in popularity style. So absolutely, I would pick these up again. Okay, and before we finish with today's What Sold video, I want to show you something interesting. Sort of like last What Sold video, I got a lot of great feedback on this portion of that video, and I'm still contemplating making a dedicated video or like little series for this alone, but I came across this listing recently, and it's a great example of why SEO matters so much. This, I'll pop it on the screen for you, is a vintage high-quality material top from a luxury brand. And in my opinion, it shouldn't have much trouble selling, but I think the title is probably holding it back a little bit. So let's take a look at it together and talk about how I would rewrite this particular title. This is a perfect example of a listing where I don't think the item itself is a problem, but I think the title might be hurting it. It's a minimalist Chanel tank top, which is a brand and style combination that buyers are actively searching for. But the current title starts with used Chanel old. And while those words describe the top, sort of, technically, they're probably not the words shoppers are typing into search. If this were my listing, I'd want the title to lead with the most searchable keywords. So something more like Chanel cream sleeveless minimalist silk tank, logo button, archival, vintage. That gets the brand first, includes silk, minimalist, archival, logo button, all things that buyers are much more likely to be searching for. Sometimes a listing doesn't need a lower price. It just needs a stronger title so the right buyers can actually find it. And like I said, I got a lot of great feedback on that portion of my what sold video last week. A lot of you found that very helpful. And I feel like for me, I've been, touching my mic, sorry. I've been doing this for so long. It's like second nature to me. Those things just like, I see a listing like that and instantly my brain's like, nope, it should say this. And it's like, I don't really even have to think about it. It just like rolls right off my tongue. So I don't think I really realized that that's something that other people might struggle with, and it just comes so naturally to me. So if you would like to see a whole video, maybe a short video, like 10, 12, 15 minutes, you know, so we're not here all day long, but going over, you know, maybe, I don't know, 10 or so bad listing titles. And by that, I'm not trying to like throw shade at the persons whose listing these are. I'm just seeing listings that are literally being fed to me on eBay. And I don't think had they been being fed to me on eBay that anyone else is really seeing those in search, because the SEO is just not great. I'm not trying to knock the seller, like I said. And while you could do whatever you want with your listings, I do think the SEO is something that if you can get it right, it really does have everything to do with selling your items. Anyway, so if you would like to see that, a full dedicated video, please let me know. Please, please, please let me know in the comments below. And if you're a reseller too, how are your sales these last few weeks since I did a what sold check-in? How are your platforms? How's Poshmark doing for you? I will say, I think Poshmark has been on a giant uptick. I will say though, I've received a ton of lower-ish offers that I'm not declining, but that I'm countering, and then the person just kind of like disappears into thin air. eBay has been okay. I will say though, there was a period of time, I don't think it was this week, I think it was last week, where I went again. It was like a 3-day stretch with no interaction on eBay, no questions, no lowball offers, even no nothing. So I would love for eBay to pick up a little bit, but Depop and Poshmark are doing really well. Can't complain too much about that. And with that, I guess I will let you go. If you took the time to watch this video and you spent your social media currency with me today, I so appreciate you. And if you wouldn't mind just hitting like on your way out, that would be awesome. I'll see you next time, friends. Bye.